Okay, so we're going to go to chapter 49 of Isaiah as we continue our study in Isaiah. And I mentioned to you, if you've been here for any length of time, you know this, that Isaiah can be broken up real easily into two distinct sections. The first major section is chapters 1 through 39, where we have chapters of discomfort, prophecies of discomfort directed primarily at the nation of Judah. And what God's trying to tell them is, look, you've given your hearts to idolatry, and I want you to turn, or I'm going to judge you. And so he's telling them this over and over and over in every way you can say it, as poetically as you can say it, as straightforward as you can say it, and they reject it. And so at the end of that section, we see the Lord talk about how the Assyrians began to afflict them, began to discipline them. And yet even then they wouldn't turn. And they will ultimately be carried away into captivity over 100 years after these writings. And it will be due to their love of Babylon, their love of idolatry. They will be taken to the very center of idolatry, the nation, the city of Babylon. Now, if that were the end of the story, it would be pretty discouraging. And yet God is a God of hope, and He is a God of a future, and He is a God of good plans for His people, and He's merciful. And so chapter 40, everything changes. And the second half of the book, chapters 40 through 66, is dominated by the idea of comfort. And so God says, you wouldn't listen to my warning, and you are going to be disciplined. I have to rid you of this idolatry, but I am going to comfort you with these words. Yes, you will go into captivity, but I'm going to raise up a servant, lowercase s, named Cyrus, who's not even been born yet. And he is going to be used to deliver you from the Babylonian captivity and allow you to go back to your land. And then I am eventually going to raise up a servant with a capital S, that's Jesus, and he is going to release you from your spiritual captivity. He's going to be the Messiah. And this starts in chapter 42, this prophecy interwoven with his writings dealing with the servant with a capital S, Jesus. So from this time, he's prophesying of the Messiah, and he's saying, I'm going to send you one to deliver. But you guys know that by the time Jesus arrives, nearly 700 years after these writings, the Jews miss him almost exclusively. They don't recognize him, and in fact, they reject him. And the reason is that they misdiagnose the scriptures. Have you ever thought about misdiagnosing things? With WebMD, we're now the most dangerous group.